Nobody loved the strange doll on the shelf, who had black matted hair and only one eye. There was something about her that didn't seem right, and she glowed in the dark when you turned out the light. She was warm when you touched her. Her skin felt too real. She had blood on her lips that was cold and congealed. Through her one single eye, she stared at the floor as she sat on the shelf of the Toymaster's store. Everyone knew of the Toymaster's talent and the dolls that he made for the children in town. He could carve out a toy with precision and skill, using a hammer and a chisel to fashion his will. Despite all the praise, he didn't have friends or someone to trust, to share in his dreams. Someone to share all his long, lonely days, who would always be there and who would not go away. Each doll that he made brought a smile to a child. It was more than just a toy, a companion for life. But nobody knew of his ultimate goal, to create for himself a doll with a soul. In a box on the shelf, she already stood, waiting for something to bring her to life. The Toymaster dreamt of the joy she could bring, like blossom explodes from the first buds of spring. Hidden deep in the woods, someone who might help. She was wise and despised, and they called her a witch. And if there was danger to visit her home, it was better than spending his life all alone. So with 6 silver coins in his old leather pouch, he put on his coat and set off through the snow, down through the trees, with the wind at his back, and clutched tight to his chest was the doll in a sack. The Toymaster came to the place where she dwelled, and told her his needs and passed her the coin. She poked at the fire and told him what she saw, then pulled from the fold of her cloak a bird's claw. She offered the claw with a vial of its blood. Place this on the soil of a freshly made grave. Spit on the ground and then repeat after me. You're mine to command. You're mine to set free. Toymaster, beware. You know not of that world. There's dangers abound which are better unsaid. You may find a friend to fulfill all your needs, but remember my words. Your friend needs to feed. As the village lay sleeping, to the graveyard he crept. Just the light of the moon to show him the way. He searched for a grave where the soil hadn't set, then recited the word that he couldn't forget. With his eyes on the soil, the Toymaster stood. The sound of his breath seemed to echo aloud. Then up from the ground came the whispery smoke. Returning to earth was the spirit evoked. The Toymaster held up the doll to the moon and gave out a laugh as the spirit took form. Then, in through the wooden, sealed lips of the toy, a heartbeat was felt. The body fell limp. A breath could be heard. The skin became soft. And there by the grave, a new child was born. Papa, she called to him. Please take me home. It's cold by the grave, and I haven't a coat. The Toymaster choked back a tear in his eye. then hurried home under the lightning sky. Alone in the workshop, they danced and they danced. A daughter to talk to and share all his dreams. The sun shined, the birds sang, the world was aglow. Then he hurried outside to let everybody know. They talked as they walked, just like father and child, all day through the town and late in the park. "Pop," she told him, "today has been fun, but I'm tired and I'm hungry, so please take me home." The Toymaster laid on a feast for his child. She stared at the food but did not take a bite. He patiently sat, but reluctantly slept. And then out in the darkness, she silently crept. Down through the darkened streets, her senses heightened, wanting to satisfy her ravenous hunger, searching for something to fulfill her needs, needing to placate her voracious greed. Close by the tavern, an old man lay sleeping. Deep in the shadows, she silently watches. The scent of fresh meat as she draws herself near, while he's lost to the night with a few jars of beer. Her trembling hands, as she pulled herself closer, her fingernails grew and pulse quickened up. The sound of her heart just like deafening thunder. She looked at her prey with a menacing wonder. In the light of the moon, she stood tall above him. The smell of old leather and hops filled the air. She watched as a cloud of stale breath exhales gently. Excitement and thrill seemed to grip her intently. His unshaven face and the dirty complexion contrasts with the snow as he lay on the ground. Her mouth filled with fresh flesh of newly killed meat as she gorged all alone on the side of the street. Her heart, like a pocket watch, frantically beating. The minutes passed by as she feasted in rage. She's only halted by footsteps behind her and voices of drinkers that suddenly find her. "Murder!" they cry, and they call for the sergeant. Torches are lit and the dogs are set loose. She hides in the shadows as they run right past her. She quickly returns to that gentle Toymaster. Awakened by noise and the sound of the shouting, the Toymaster rises and unlocks the door. There, on the porch, is his dear Zombelina. Her face drenched in blood, looking colder and meaner. "Papa, forgive me. I think I've done wrong. I was cold. I was hungry. I needed to feed. I have to answer the spirit inside me. It's her will that moves me. It's her will that guides me." The Toymaster cried at the sight of his daughter. The evil inside her, the monster he'd made. He pulled her inside and with sadness embraced her. He then raised up his hand and brought down the knife. She screamed out in fury and felt the betrayal as the Toymaster wept and wanted to help. Revengeful, she scratched and she bit at his face. The love that she showed disappeared without a trace. With one mighty blow, with the leg of a carving, the Toymaster struck her square in the eye. She fell to the floor, and the Toymaster left her. her death. Now the Toymaster sits on a chair by a window, saddened and sorrowed, and all by himself. He looks at that lifeless, smashed corpse of his daughter, watching the world as she sits on the shelf.